Captain Lila's treasure quest. Captain Lila, a retired pirate, embarks on an adventure with her spirited friends to uncover the treasure of the feared Captain Grizzlebeard on Thistle Island, facing storms and playful monkeys along the way. Together, they discover that true treasure lies not just in gold, but in friendship and shared stories. Chapter 1: The Call of the Sea. In a quaint little village, nestled between rolling green hills and a sparkling blue sea, there lived a retired pirate named Captain Lila. She was known far and wide for her bright red bandana and her infectious laugh that could be heard from miles away. Lila had hung up her sword and traded her ship for a cozy cottage filled with books, seashells, and the smell of freshly baked cookies. But even in her peaceful retirement, the thrill of adventure still danced in her heart. One sunny morning, while sipping her favorite lemon tea, Lila received an unexpected visitor. It was her old friend, Barnaby the parrot, who had a knack for squawking news from the farthest corners of the world. With his colorful feathers ruffled and eyes wide with excitement, Barnaby landed on Lila's shoulder. "Lila! Lila! You won't believe what I heard," he squawked, flapping his wings. "A treasure map has washed ashore on Thistle Island." Lila raised an eyebrow. "Thistle Island? I thought that place was just a legend." Her heart raced at the mention of adventure. It had been years since she had embarked on a quest, and the thought sent shivers of excitement down her spine. "That's not all," Barnaby continued, hopping around in circles. "The map belongs to Captain Grizzlebeard, the most fearsome pirate of all time. They say he hid his treasure there after a terrible betrayal." Lila's mind began to whirl with possibilities. She remembered tales of Captain Grizzlebeard's grand ship, the Sea Serpent, and his infamous crew. But more than that, she recalled the injustice he had faced, betrayed by someone he trusted. "This sounds like a mystery waiting to be solved," she said, determination sparkling in her eyes. "Let's gather a crew and set sail." With a heart full of courage and a head buzzing with plans, Lila quickly packed her trusty old compass, her favorite cutlass, and a delicious batch of cookies for the journey. As she prepared to leave, she called upon her friends from the village: Timmy the brave little boy who always dreamed of adventure, Miss Clara the wise old cat who had seen it all, and Benny the mischievous raccoon known for his clever tricks. They all gathered at the edge of the village, eyes shining with excitement. Lila stood before them, her voice steady and warm. "Friends, we are off to Thistle Island to uncover the treasure of Captain Grizzlebeard and possibly right an old wrong. Are you with me?" "Absolutely," Timmy shouted, pumping his fist in the air. "Count me in." Miss Clara purred, her whiskers twitching with anticipation. "Treasure? I'm in. Let's go," Benny exclaimed, doing a little dance. And so, with their spirits high and laughter echoing in the air, Captain Lila and her merry crew set sail on a bright blue ship named the Merry Seagull. The wind caught their sails, and they glided smoothly across the shimmering ocean. Chapter 2: The Stormy Seas. The first few days on the ocean were filled with joy. Lila taught her crew how to tie knots, navigate using the stars, and even how to sing sea shanties. They spent evenings around a campfire on the deck, sharing stories of their dreams and adventures. Lila loved every moment, feeling the weight of her past adventures blend with the thrill of new ones. But one morning, as clouds began to gather ominously on the horizon, the cheerful mood shifted. Barnaby squawked nervously, "Oh! Looks like a storm is brewing. Hold on tight, everyone," Lila commanded, her voice firm yet encouraging. "We'll get through this together." As the winds howled and the waves crashed against the ship, Lila steered the Merry Seagull with all her might. The crew worked together, pulling ropes and adjusting sails. Timmy bravely climbed the mast to keep an eye on the storm's movements, while Miss Clara kept everyone calm with her wise words. "Just like a kitten learning to pounce, we must be patient and steady," she purred, her reassuring presence bringing comfort to the crew. Benny, on the other hand, was busy trying to catch snacks that flew off the table. "Cookies are flying everywhere," he giggled, chasing the treats like a playful whirlwind. After what felt like hours, the storm began to pass, leaving behind a beautiful rainbow arching across the sky. Everyone cheered, their spirits lifted once more. Lila grinned, her heart swelling with pride for her brave crew. We did it. We faced the storm together. But as the sun broke through the clouds, they spotted an island in the distance. Thistle Island! Lila exclaimed. We made it. They anchored their ship and hopped onto a small dinghy, paddling towards the shore. The island was lush and vibrant, with colorful flowers blooming everywhere and the sweet scent of fruit hanging in the air. But Lila couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As they stepped onto the soft sand, they heard a strange rustling in the bushes nearby. What was that? Timmy whispered, his eyes wide. Let's check it out, Lila said, leading the way. They tiptoed through the thick foliage and stumbled upon a group of playful monkeys swinging from the trees. Oh! Look at them! Benny squealed, his eyes sparkling with mischief. They're adorable. Suddenly, one cheeky monkey grabbed Benny's hat and scampered up a tree, chattering excitedly. Hey! Come back with that! Benny yelled, chasing after it. Lila and her crew laughed as they watched Benny leap and shimmy up the tree, trying to retrieve his beloved hat. It's just a hat, Benny. Miss Clara chuckled. But I suppose it does look good on you. After a hilarious tug-of-war with the monkey, Benny finally got his hat back, and the group continued their quest, hearts lighter and laughter echoing through the trees. They explored the island, finding hidden caves and sparkling streams, but still no treasure map. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the island, Lila spotted something glimmering in the sand. What's that? She gasped, rushing over. It was a piece of parchment. Could it be? Timmy asked, peering over her shoulder. Lila carefully unfolded the parchment, revealing an old, tattered map with strange markings. This is it. This must be Captain Grizzlebeard's treasure map, she exclaimed, excitement bubbling within her. Let's go find it. Barnaby chirped, flapping his wings in delight. With the map in hand, Lila gathered her crew around her. All right, adventurers. We need to follow the clues, stick together, and keep our wits about us. It's time to uncover the treasure of Thistle Island. Chapter 3, The Treasure Hunt. Following the map's directions, Lila and her crew trekked through the thick jungle, filled with towering trees and singing birds. They climbed over rocks, ducked under branches, and crossed a babbling brook, their laughter ringing out in the warm air. As they reached the first clue, Lila read aloud, "To find the treasure, seek the old tree that wears a crown of leaves." An old tree? That's easy, Timmy said, darting ahead. After a short search, they discovered a majestic tree with sprawling branches and green leaves that danced in the breeze like a crown. This must be it, Miss Clara declared, her eyes gleaming with wisdom. Benny, who had been eyeing the tree for its potential height, said excitedly, "I'll climb up and see what's up there." He scampered up the tree, his tiny paws gripping the bark, and soon disappeared into the foliage. "Benny! Be careful!" Lila called, but she couldn't help smiling at his adventurous spirit. A few moments later, Benny poked his head out, holding a shiny gold coin. "I found something," he shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. "That's a clue," Lila encouraged, her heart racing. "What does it say?" Benny squinted at the coin. "It has a picture of a parrot and, oh. It says, follow the bird to the next clue." Barnaby puffed up with pride. "That's me. I'm the best bird around." With Barnaby leading the way, they ventured deeper into the jungle. They followed his colorful feathers as they flitted from branch to branch, until they finally arrived at a sparkling waterfall cascading into a crystal-clear pool. "Wow!" Timmy exclaimed, eyes wide. "It's beautiful. Look." Lila pointed to a rock behind the waterfall. "There's something hidden there." With determination, they climbed around the pool and behind the rushing water. To their amazement, they found a wooden chest half buried in the ground. "This must be it," Lila exclaimed, her heart pounding with excitement. With teamwork, they dug around the chest and pried it open. Inside, glimmering gold coins, sparkling jewels, and an old, weathered journal lay waiting for them. "I can't believe it," Miss Clara gasped, her eyes wide. "We found Captain Grizzlebeard's treasure." Lila carefully picked up the journal, her fingers brushing over the faded pages. "This isn't just a treasure," she said, her voice softening. "It's a record of his adventures and the betrayal he faced. We need to return this to the village and tell his story." The crew cheered, knowing they had not only uncovered a treasure but also a piece of history. "We did it, Captain Lila!" Timmy shouted, dancing around. Benny did a little jig, twirling with joy. "We're the best adventure team ever." As they made their way back to the Merry Seagull, the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange. Lila felt a warmth in her heart. They had faced storms, challenges, and playful monkeys, but together they had turned an old pirate's treasure into a new story. Chapter 4, A New Beginning. Once back in the village, Lila and her crew were greeted with cheers and hugs from their friends and family. They gathered everyone around as Lila shared the tale of their adventure and the treasure they had found. "Captain Grizzlebeard was not just a pirate, he was a brave adventurer who showed us all what loyalty means," Lila said, her voice filled with passion. "His story deserves to be remembered, and his treasure will help our village thrive." The villagers were captivated, their eyes wide with wonder. They decided to use the treasure to build a community center, where everyone could gather to share stories, learn about the sea, and celebrate their adventures. As days turned into weeks, Lila felt a sense of fulfillment she hadn't felt in years. She had rediscovered her love for adventure, but more importantly, she had brought her community together. One afternoon, as she sat on her porch sipping lemon tea, Barnaby perched beside her. "What's next, Captain Lila?" he asked, tilting his head. Lila smiled, her spirit alight with possibilities. "Oh, Barnaby, who knows? The world is vast, and adventure is always around the corner. Let's keep our eyes open and our hearts ready." And as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with dreams of new adventures, Captain Lila and her crew knew that together, they could overcome any storm, solve any mystery, and uncover treasures that would last a lifetime. With laughter in the air and courage in their hearts, they were ready for whatever came next, sailing into the beautiful unknown, hand in hand, and filled with joy.